What if I told you the resort once credited with transforming Las Vegas into a world-class destination is now charging more than ever while delivering less than ever before? The Bellagio built its reputation on elegance and unforgettable service. But in 2025, guests are finding a different reality. Prices keep rising, rooms feel worn, and the five-star promise no longer matches what you actually get. Today, we're exposing why the Bellagio is charging luxury prices for budget quality, and the final reason might change how you see this resort forever. Number 10. Room rates that no longer match the experience. When the Bellagio opened in 1998, it redefined what a Las Vegas hotel could be. The architecture, the attention to detail, the sense that every dollar spent was worth it. For years, guests happily paid premium prices because the experience delivered. That equation has changed. Today, average nightly rates at the Bellagio hover between $300 and $500. On peak weekends, some guests report paying over $600 a night for a standard room. And during major events or holidays, rates can climb past $1,000. But what are you getting for that money? The same basic room footprint that existed 25 years ago. A flat-screen TV, a marble bathroom. Nice enough, sure, but revolutionary? Hardly. Not when newer properties on the Strip are offering fresher designs, more modern amenities, and comparable locations for the same price or less. The Bellagio still trades on its legendary name, but the gap between reputation and reality is widening. You are paying 2025 prices for what increasingly feels like a 2005 experience. But the real shock hits after you calculate the room total, because what appears next on your bill catches even loyal guests off guard. Number 9. Resort fees that keep creeping higher. Let us talk about what happens after you book that room. The Bellagio charges a resort fee of $55 plus tax per night. Once everything is calculated, that comes out to nearly $57 added to every single night of your stay. Book a 3-night weekend, and you are looking at an extra $170 tacked onto your bill before you have ordered a single drink or set foot by the pool. What does that fee actually cover? Gym access, Wi-Fi, some phone calls, a digital newspaper app. These are amenities that most travelers expect to be included at any hotel charging $300 a night, let alone a supposed 5-star resort. The Bellagio's resort fee now ranks among the highest on the entire Strip, sitting in the top 15 most expensive in all of Las Vegas. That is not a flex. That is a warning. And here's the frustrating part. There is no way to opt out. Even if you never touch the gym, never connect to the Wi-Fi, never read a single digital newspaper, you are paying for it anyway. It is a mandatory charge dressed up as a convenience. And if surprise fees hurt, the truth behind those glossy photos hits even harder, because what you walk into often looks nothing like the pictures. Number 8. Aging rooms hidden behind glamorous marketing. The Bellagio's website shows stunning imagery, crisp linens, gleaming marble, sunlight streaming through floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the famous fountains. It looks like perfection. Then you check in. Guest reviews tell a different story. Reports of moldy grout in bathrooms, shower heads caked with limescale, electrical outlets that do not work, curtains that malfunction and open randomly in the middle of the night, furniture that looks elegant from a distance but reveals its age up close. The Bellagio opened over 25 years ago. That is a long time for any property, even one with a legendary reputation. And while some rooms have been refreshed over the years, many guests find themselves in spaces that feel dated. Low ceilings, small closets, decor that belongs to another era. One reviewer put it bluntly, the rooms at Aria are cheaper and much nicer. The Bellagio is really showing its age. The fountains still dazzle. The lobby still impresses. But behind the closed door of your suite, the cracks are harder to ignore. And when you are paying $400 a night or more, those cracks feel like broken promises. You might hope the food makes up for it. Instead, the next part is where many guests hit their breaking point. Number 7. Dining prices that outpace the food quality. The Bellagio boasts nearly 20 restaurants, fine dining, casual options, celebrity chef concepts. On paper, it sounds like a food lover's paradise. In practice, it is a wallet's nightmare. Guests report paying over $40 for a basic breakfast, coffee, water, a bagel, nothing elaborate. Just standard morning fare at prices that would make most people choke on their croissants. Even the Starbucks inside the property has become a talking point. 2 coffees and a small sandwich, $40. That is not luxury pricing. That is highway robbery with better lighting. The minibar tells the same story. A can of Diet Coke runs $13. A beer costs $19. For guests who have traveled all day and just want something cold without leaving the room, the sticker shock is immediate. And it is not just the grab-and-go options. Sit-down meals at the Bellagio's restaurants often leave guests feeling like the price far exceeded the quality. Portions that feel small, service that feels rushed, an overall sense that the experience is not matching what the bill demands. When even a simple meal feels like a financial event, the joy of dining disappears. And joy is supposed to be the whole point of coming to Vegas. But the real shift in atmosphere appears the moment you step back onto the casino floor, because the elegance the Bellagio was known for is fading fast. Number 6. Crowded casino floors. That kill the elegance. There was a time when walking through the Bellagio felt like entering a world apart. The soaring ceilings, the soft lighting, the sense of space and refinement that separated it from every other casino on the Strip. That feeling is harder to find now. The Bellagio has nearly 4,000 rooms. Add in the constant flow of tourists who come just to see the fountains, walk through the conservatory, or grab photos in the lobby, and you have a recipe for relentless congestion. The casino floor, once elegant and spacious, now pulses with crowds that make it feel more like a busy mall than a luxury retreat. Tables are packed. Slot aisles feel cramped. Finding a seat at a bar can take longer than expected. The vibe that once whispered exclusivity now shouts overcrowding. And it is not just the volume. Guests frequently mention the smoke, the noise, the general chaos that has replaced what used to be a more curated experience. For visitors used to the Bellagio of 10 or 15 years ago, the contrast is jarring. You can tolerate crowds at a budget property, you expect them at a mid-tier resort. But when you are paying luxury prices, you expect a certain level of breathing room. At the Bellagio, that room is shrinking, and if the casino floor already feels overwhelming, the next frustration hits even harder. The lines aren't just long, they're constant. Number 5. Long lines for basic services. At a luxury resort, the little things are supposed to be effortless. Checking in should feel seamless. Getting your car should be quick. Grabbing a table at a restaurant should not require an hour of waiting. At the Bellagio in 2025, none of that is guaranteed. Guests routinely report check-in lines stretching 30 minutes or longer. Even with mobile check-in and digital room keys, the front desk experience has become a bottleneck. Visitors arrive excited and leave frustrated before they have even seen their room. Valet is another pain point. During peak hours, getting your car can feel like an endurance test. Lines back up. Wait times climb. What should be a 5-minute convenience turns into a 20 or 30-minute delay. Restaurants are no different. Even with reservations, guests describe long waits for tables. Walk-ins? Forget it during busy periods. The infrastructure that once handled the Bellagio's crowds with grace now feels strained and overwhelmed. The problem extends beyond the obvious bottlenecks. Need help from the concierge? Expect a wait. Want to speak with someone at the rewards desk? Take a number. Even the elevators during checkout rush can test your patience. Every interaction that should feel smooth now comes with friction attached. For a property charging premium rates, this is inexcusable. You are not paying $500 a night to stand in line like you are at a theme park. You are paying for polish, for precision, for a level of service that says your time matters. And once you finally make it back to your room, the surprise isn't relief. It's another round of letdowns waiting behind the door. Number 4. Inconsistent housekeeping at premium pricing. Housekeeping is invisible when it works well. You leave your room, you come back. Everything is fresh, towels replaced, bed made, surfaces wiped. It is the kind of quiet excellence that defines a true luxury stay. At the Bellagio, that standard is slipping. Guests increasingly report that their rooms are not being cleaned during multi-night stays, unless they specifically call and request service. One visitor described staying 5 nights and only receiving housekeeping once, and that was after complaining to the front desk. The compensation offered? A $100 credit for a 5-star hotel? That is an insult, not a solution. Other reviews mention arriving to rooms that were supposed to be ready, but were not cleaned at all. Check-in is at 3 o'clock, but guests have reported waiting until 5 or even later because their suite was not serviced. The details matter too. Guests have mentioned dusty surfaces, coffee stains on walls, and linens that did not feel fresh. One review described finding the previous guest's belongings still in the drawers. These are not minor oversights. These are fundamental failures that erode trust and tarnish the brand with every occurrence. This is not about being demanding. It is about basic expectations. When you pay $300, $400, $500 a night, you should not have to chase down someone to give you clean towels. That should be automatic. That should be the bare minimum. And if the room already feels neglected, don't count on the pool to save the stay, because even relaxing comes with a bill that shocks first-time guests. Number 3. Pool experiences that do not justify the cost. The Bellagio pool complex is beautiful. 5 Mediterranean-inspired pools spread across manicured gardens, lush greenery, elegant statues. It looks like something out of an Italian postcard, but looking is free, enjoying it comfortably is not. Cabanas at the Bellagio start around $450 per day. Premium options can climb to over $1,000, and that is just the rental fee. Food and drinks are billed on top. A bottle of water poolside? Expect resort pricing. A cocktail? Same story. Even if you skip the cabana, finding a free lounge chair can be a challenge during peak season. Leave your towel for too long while you swim, and staff may clear your belongings to free up the space. It is first come, first served, and during summer weekends that competition is fierce. Guests have also noted that the pool loungers do not always feel as luxurious as the setting suggests. Reviews mention chairs that could be cleaner, umbrellas in short supply. A general sense that for the prices being charged, the experience should feel more polished. The Bellagio pool is still one of the nicest in Vegas, but when everything from a daybed to a bottle of sunscreen carries a premium markup, the relaxation starts to feel transactional. And transactions are not what you came here for. Unfortunately, transactions are exactly what define the rest of the experience too, because around every corner, another upsell is waiting. Number 2, upsells that break the immersion. Luxury is supposed to feel effortless. You arrive, you are taken care of. The experience flows without constant reminders that everything costs extra. At the Bellagio, that flow is constantly interrupted. Want to check in early? That will be a fee. Late checkout? Another fee. Hoping for a room upgrade to see the fountains instead of the parking garage? The front desk will happily accommodate. For a price. Even room service has become a revenue grab. Reports surfaced that the Bellagio now charges an additional operational fee just for the luxury of receiving your food on real plates with actual silverware and cloth napkins. They call it classic service. Guests call it absurd. At the pool, the upsells continue. Cabanas, daybeds, reserved seating, premium areas. Every tier of comfort comes with a corresponding tier of cost. The spa, the restaurants, the valet line, nearly every touch point is engineered to extract a little more from your wallet. And while upselling is standard in hospitality, the relentlessness at the Bellagio feels different. It feels desperate. It breaks the illusion that you are a valued guest rather than a revenue target. When every moment is monetized, the magic disappears. And that brings us to the issue that explains every disappointment on this list. Number 1, the Bellagio has lost its value proposition. This is the truth that hurts the most. The Bellagio was never just a hotel. It was a statement. When it opened in 1998, it told the world that Las Vegas could be elegant, that the Strip could offer genuine luxury, not just neon and noise. For over 2 decades, it delivered on that promise. The fountains, the conservatory, the art gallery, the rooms that felt like they belonged in a European grand hotel. That Bellagio still exists in memory. But the reality in 2025 is harder to defend. You are paying $500 a night for rooms that show their age. you are adding $60 a day in mandatory fees for amenities that should be included. You are fighting crowds in the casino, waiting in lines at check-in, chasing down housekeeping just to get fresh towels. You are being upsold at every turn, reminded constantly that nothing is included. Nothing is effortless. Nothing is simply taken care of. Other properties on the Strip now offer newer rooms, better service, and comparable experiences for less money. Aria, Cosmopolitan, Wynn. The competition has caught up and in many ways surpassed what the Bellagio offers today. The fountains still dance, the lobby still dazzles, but the soul of the place, that feeling of being somewhere truly special, has faded. The Bellagio is not broken, but the value is gone. And until that changes, staying here is no longer the dream it once was. It is just an expensive reminder of what used to be. So what do you think? Has the Bellagio lost its magic? Or is there still hope for Vegas's most iconic resort? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let us know.